Hello there, this is Alcon Recon. At last we've met a truly top class football game in this World Cup. And that is Argentina versus Croatia. There is very little that you could say about these two teams that they have not performed well enough. They both came in with different structures of the game. And in truth and fact, Argentina was the best that they would have had during the course of this tournament. That does not mean that Croatia was bad. They decided to go the way that they wanted to go, and that was to play the defending game to see how well will Argentina approach them. And they did it well in the first part of the first half. They were actually looking to build the play, but it was taking too many passes, which was just possession and not penetration. And all of a sudden, Argentina started to go at them and saw some vulnerability in their game. And this sort of upset the Croatian team simply because of the fact that the plans that they would have had were not really working well. They were keeping the ball quite well. As soon as they changed the positivity of just keeping possession and trying to go forward, the Argentine defense came to the top of their game and was winning and breaking their plays down all the time. The goals, wonderful goals. Well, the penalty was quite obvious. And when Lionel Messi is around, a penalty is a goal. In truth and fact, the success of Argentina continued throughout this match. It was difficult simply because of the fact that the Croatians did not have the quality of players in all their players. So there was some vulnerability. Lionel Messi knew that. So some of the others in the team were not quite sure of what they were about. For instance, the goal that was scored, the second goal that was scored by young Alvarez. Here's a team where Argentina made the goal with three attackers going forward. It immediately brought the Croatian three defenders to work with. They were about 40 to 50 meters from their goal. And as this young man picked the ball up and started running, Lionel Messi ran along with him and broke off just in the right time, where the two opposing defenders could not communicate. So they were waiting to see who will do what and when. And Alvarez kept going and going and going. And one defender on one side, Messi, the other defender on the other side, and that is one of our upcoming wing back in that position. And do you know what? They took the defenders away, and this young man just worked his way through and knocked it in. A beautiful piece of football in terms of game planning. There's no question about it. The vulnerability of central defenders is probably the most dangerous thing for any football team. They must learn to communicate rather quickly and early. In this particular case, they could not communicate because the three guys were coming, one with the ball and two were shifting their positions. And because of this, here was this youngster taking his first goal and going with it. That's 2-0. They came around the other side. They thought at this time that the Croatians thought that they will go at them and see if they can get the option to be creative in goal scoring. They did it twice. They couldn't get into that defense. That defense was working hard. And you know, through who? Through the midfielders. They were doing an excellent job. And they were always looking for Lionel Messi. This guy, can I tell you, is easily, in my lifetime, the most wonderful footballer that I have seen. I've seen him a number of times. And I'm not saying he's better than the great Pelé or the Maradona. I'm saying he's in that category. And when I looked at him in the latter part of the game, as soon as the opposition lost the ball, the Argentines looked for him. And he was either making some tremendously good passes, or he was either taking it into the danger zone himself. They know that he's quick-footed. They know that it's going to be difficult. If they crack at him, it could be a penalty. He waved his way right through around the outside of the defender, came around them, went to the byline, went towards the goalkeeper, and just keeping tabs and just wending his way with a delicate touch. And all of a sudden, squared one back, and here was this young man again, Alvarez, knocking the one in for the 3 games. There's 2 goals he had, and of course the penalty. But it was a game that you can learn so much from. I looked at the guy from Modric. Modric is a brilliant footballer. I will say this for him. Not all the players in his team are really cooperative in understanding. And sometimes you see it awfully wrong, because the ball may have gone into a place where nobody wanted it. But in the mean, they are a very good team. I gave them credit for forcing the best out of Argentina. Argentina may have been playing up and getting better as they came along here, but they knew in this game they had to do it. There was no other way. And when you look at it and you realize that they wanted to keep possession, that was not relevant. They could keep it in their part of the field, and if they only seep one diagonal pass to get over the line, they will continue with their ball using in terms of moving it, players moving from one to the other and confusing the Croatian defense. They looked very disorganized, in my opinion, coming on to the end of the game. Maybe they thought that 3 goals would be too much, so therefore it makes no sense trying anything else. Wrong. They were just distorted from a performance team that certainly showed that this was the best game and the best team that they have played. Congratulations, Argentina. Lionel Messi, did you miss them? No, they didn't miss you. No, you are Lionel Messi, one of the world's great players. I hope we see you in the final with the same type of quality and the same type of support from your players. But congratulations, both teams. You brought football into the limelight like everybody wanted to see it. Bye now. Take care.